Host, Brad Anderson, Executive Life Coach and Coach Assessor, and I am here with John Andrew Williams, who is the founder of Coach Training EDU. We're excited to be here, aren't we, John? We've got another demo today. How are you?
Good. It's very sunny outside and it's yeah, the clouds are happy. Yeah.
The clouds are happy. I love that.
Temperature's good. How how are you, Raj? How's it going
It's
on your end?
it's lovely here. It's lovely. The weather is lovely. It's lovely spring weather for Florida before it starts to get too hot, because you know how hot it gets here. And yeah, just lovely, great things that are happening. And I'm excited to join you, John. I know we're going to be listening to a demo in a moment. But I had a couple of questions I was curious about. Um, I know when we listen to the demo, we were looking at, how the coaching is going. We kind of look at competencies and things. But what are you learning about yourself as a coach as you do these demos and listen again?
It's fascinating. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of curious too. I think what I'm most curious about is where can I improve as a coach? Like that's where I really go to. I'm hearing a lot of really good things too. Like I'm hearing like, yay, of course, like I've done this over 3,000 hours. I've dedicated my professional life to this. Like this is what I've studied. I listened to myself a ton. And now doing that again, it feels good. I mean, part of me wonders, am I repetitive? Do I do this? Do I just do the same things every time? But I mean, overall, I'm feeling positive about the demos. I can feel value being created, and I'm most curious about the impact that it has on the people who are listening. Like the people who are listening to this podcast, like how is it changing the way you're coaching? Um, yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm learning like I'm feeling a lot around like, is this interesting to people? Like, what is it? Does it make sense? Yeah, those are where my questions go.
So, listeners, please let us know. Is it interesting to you? Does it make sense? And I do want to note for coaches as well, like John is asking himself that question of like, where
Mhm.
else might I need to improve? And you're an MCC coach. So, this is ongoing for us as coaches, isn't it?
I was watching a dolphin show at a wildlife refuge where they rescue dolphins, and talking to the trainer, and asked him, I'm sure, I'm sure you get this question a lot, but like, what's the training like? Does it, uh, how long did it take? And he said it never stops. We train today. Like every show is a training session. And I was thinking, yeah, it's true. Like it never stops. Like everything I'm listening to, it's a learning session. And I know that the number one thing, even coaches in training, like if you're going through the training or if you're thinking about going through the training, one of the things that you can do that is the most useful is to watch yourself coach, watch yourself doing the thing. It's presentations, it's this. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like I feel like it's almost like a cheat code for getting better at something. And we all have recording devices all over the place now. So there's really no excuse not to get a couple things on film and watch it.
So, the training never stops. Keep learning, keep asking yourself questions, record yourself, and listen back. And we're going to listen then in a moment, John. But what should we be looking out for today in terms of competencies, do you think, as we listen to you?
I mean, this is another one where, so there's a coaching training. She's trying to build a practice, which is extremely common. And I have a lot of experience with that. So it's interesting to know. I mean, I have so many ideas of exact steps that people can follow to get coaching clients. And a lot of the work of getting that initial coaching client comes from a mindset or perspective shift or something where you realize you just in the entrepreneurial world, or if any world where you have to, you don't have a W-2 guaranteed, you have to adopt a growth income mindset, and a mindset that you are stretching into you're stretching into the unknown. That's not fun a lot of the time. It's straight up scary. So when people are getting into this space of, okay, I want to set up a practice, uh, they look at that perspective. There's so much growth that can happen if you look at that perspective and you do it well. And so I think those are things to watch out for, listen for, know that, that's operating in the background. And we'll see how it goes. I will share my screen. Also, this goes for everyone else too. Who's listening, if you have a coaching session and you want us to look at it, send in the recording. Like we'll have to get permission, everyone's permissions and things like this, but I don't want to just be like all my demos. Like, we can branch out and have other demos on here too. I'm happy to do it. And I have a bank of them now because I put the word out there, and a lot of people, I've coached a lot of people at this point for this cast. So we're set in that way. But if the opportunity's there, if you want it, send us the recording. This goes for anyone listening to this.
That's a great idea. I do want to as well, John, you said that I know you have a lot of expertise in this background of entrepreneurship. So I want to be looking out for how you are staying in coach mode versus mentor mode, because it would be easy to go there. So there's something I'm going to be curious to listen out for as well.
We'll dive in. See what you say. I'm curious to see what you think about this and where this goes. What would you like to look at? What would be useful to spend our time on today? So we just spent a couple of minutes connecting. I just started the recording here. Here we go. I have no idea what she's going to want to coach on, just for the audience's sake. Like, these are all just, I have no idea. There's no prep. This is all real. Here we go.
So I finished the Essentials course in January, and I've come a long way, even like personally when it comes with coaching and like this whole, I feel like it's a new lifestyle. So now I'm at that point where I'm just in the in-between, like not here nor there. I got my first paid client.
Congrats.
Which, yeah, that was exciting and a little shocking, but so now I'm just kind of in a place of like, how do I take this like to the next level?
Okay. What does that next level specifically look like?
A successful business with a lot of clients, and where I am helping a lot of people. I could get more specific if you need.
Well, what's the next milestone between here and there that let's say in 2 months from now, you're on the right track?
Yeah. I think the next milestone would just probably be to snag another paid client or another few paid clients. I think the problem is that I'm not a salesperson. Like,
there we go.
And I don't know how to put myself out there while staying true to myself and genuine, and also not feeling like ick of like, oh, I'm trying to sell myself.
Wow. Well, so what would be the measurement of success around your? Okay. I don't know, Raj. I think I could have jumped more into explored that. You know what I mean? It's like so coaching rich environment. Yeah, thoughts. I mean, I'm doing the time model, sure. But.
Yeah, and it seemed like the milestone question unlocked her there, because it started with kind of elevating this and taking the coaching to the next level. And all of a sudden, with that question, we've got, I'm not a salesperson, and then deeper, the ick. So there is all of that right there to explore, isn't there?
I mean, wow. Like what minute mark are we in? 2 minutes, 14 seconds. we have a being now, we have like this idea of like, who are you? Like what kind of, what kind of person, do you see yourself as? What narrative do you have for yourself? What narrative do you have around yourself as it concerns sales? What narrative do you have around yourself as it concerns money? I mean, we're in it. We're in it.
Yes. So if you were extending that time model a bit, MCC style, what would you have asked instead there?
I mean, I could have gone all into it. Like, where, uh, you know, um, describe the ick. What's the ick? Uh, what's that aspect of self that you feel most uncomfortable with? What? You know what I mean? Missed opportunities, I think. But we'll see. I mean, I'm trying also to do really good textbook coaching because I know a lot of coaches are going to watch this and go, hey, John didn't do it that way. Why did John do it this way when he says on his recordings to do it the other way? So I'm trying to like really do my very best, like, you know what I mean? Like be very, very good at following along the topic, importance, measurement, echo.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. So this is the measurement question. How can we measure how can we measure the success of this session? Which I still don't think is a bad move. It's just not the best move at this point.
I agree.
It's addressing sales.
Yeah. I guess it could go a few ways. I mean, obviously just getting a client, right? But I don't know if that would happen today. Maybe just more like actions as to like ways to put myself out there.
Isn't that amazing? Okay. Let's say we got the perfect perspective for you. Because it seems to me like this is yeah. So I don't know, right? I mean, you asked me what I learned about myself, and I'm like, oh, I think I've been doing pretty great. I'm good. I'm like, this one, like, oh no. Oh. Oh, it's so clunky. Ugh.
What do you
Yeah.
think was happening for you as a coach in that moment?
Oh no. I'm trying to think back to when I was doing this, what was going on. I think I'm more into I want to make sure I'm trying to line this demo up with a topic so that I can build the curriculum at the same time. Like be like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm doing this. This is like, curriculum building work as well. Uh, but I'm still with her. And I think what I'm doing is I'm dog earing the idea of, oh, I'll come back to that. Like, and I'll come back to the ick. I'll come back to the who are you? I'll come back to this. I think that's what I'm doing right now. So it's not as bad as it might be if I like, let's say, but if I don't go back to that, yeah, then those are huge missed opportunities. I would not submit this for an MCC to yeah, it would just it'd be a no. Uh, PCC, sure. I do not think this is MCC level.
Yeah. So ACC, PCC's great demonstration of the time model. You just know from your experience where you could go deeper, and you might as we listen with it.
We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't say it is disqualified yet, but I would say it is if I don't go back and get those quickly. And I think I'm also relying on my client, trusting my client too, that I can let the moment pass of, okay, wow, there's a great opportunity. I can let that great opportunity pass, get a couple more things in, housekeeping things in, and then jump back to it. That's what I'm trusting right now. We'll see. I mean, we'll see where it goes. Perspective work written all over it. Like, what is the perspective? Like, what is your default perspective on sales? And then what's the perspective you want to have on sales? Seems like the perfect thing. Not bad. What are your thoughts? Not great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, because I kind of see it as like, I guess in a perfect world, I'd be able to like go out there and go from like business to business and be like, hey, my name is Cindy and I'm, the happy hour life coach and this and that and give my whole spiel. But like when I think about it, I'm like, oh no.
Good. The happy hour life coach. Is that
Yeah,
That's your
that's
thing?
my name. Happy Hour Life Coach. Yeah.
That's amazing. So what's the thing? Is it how to optimize happy hour? Is that, or like what's the, yeah, like wait, this is amazing. Okay.
Yeah, just like how to put the word out there, how to, um, get it moving, get it, into people's minds and thoughts and just put it out there.
So what's the problem that you solve specifically for the clients you work with?
I'm really new to this game, John. So for
Yeah,
now,
yeah. I mean, I'm hooked. Yes.
I think for me, it's just I'm coming from a place where I, for a really long time, felt lost and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I had a really great career in speech therapy, working with little kids. It was great until it wasn't anymore, you
Mm.
know? And I went from this person who was constantly working and always, bringing in money and this and that. And then I had my babies, and then everything just changed. And it was really sad and depressing, kind of. So I feel like I learned a lot about, feeling lost and not feeling like you know what you want to do and stuff like that, which translates to, I guess, helping people who want to make changes or who are feeling down and feeling confused and don't know how to figure their stuff out, you know?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
just like that that area. As far as like narrowing it down, I can't say I'm far ahead in the game enough to be able to do that.
Okay. What was it like explaining that? Like just this is who you like this is your target audience, this is your story. And yeah, I'd imagine there'd be a lot. I mean, it's not that bad, Raj. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
So I do want to point something out there though, John, because this comes up in assessments and training quite a lot. The difference between asking information questions versus exploration questions. So
Right.
it does look like you are asking the information-y type questions um, to empower her. What do you think? Or are you asking them for yourself? What's happening there? Because there is a
Oh,
difference, isn't there?
yeah, but I mean, I feel like you're all, yes. Uh, I, I was genuine. That was the thing I was genuinely most curious about. Thinking Cindy is a life coach for people specifically on how to optimize happy hour. And I was thinking to myself, this is like the most interesting specialty I've ever heard. And I think this could actually be marketable and work. And if she's gone down this road, and now I realize no, she means happy hour as in like the coaching hour itself is the hour of happiness. I think, but I'm not quite sure. Even now, I'm not quite sure about it. But I thought if she really is a coach on how to optimize a happy hour, that is one of the most, yeah, that's one of the most interesting things I've ever heard.
Coaching
Uh,
with cocktails.
yeah, like she's gone down. I mean, I've heard some really interesting ones too. Like I heard someone who said, I'm a life coach for people who like to use bad words. Like, awesome. Like, for pirate mouths. Like, and I'm like, okay, like that is, you could, that's a reasonable thing. And there are people who go, yeah, that's my coach. Like, boom, done, Uh, and this one felt to me like that too. Like, wow, like I could see someone sitting in an office thinking to myself, yeah, I want to optimize this. This is an important thing. I mean, it has its own, I mean, thinking also too, like in terms of like inclusion, equity, things like this. I'm like, well, my mind's also spinning on, well, that's not the most inclusion-y, if you're going to do that, have like an after work, you know, non-formal meeting that takes a lot of, you have to check that out a lot. And so I mean, all of these thoughts were happening in real time. And so that's where that question was coming from. And then I also wanted to see what her perspective on it was. And then when I got here, I'm like, okay, cool. She got some things out. Now I want to bring it back to the present moment. What was it like for you now to say all that? That takes the information-y question and then now puts it back into, it saves it. It puts it back into, who are you? Like what version of yourself is showing up at this moment? But did I miss that earlier thing about the ick and like the salesperson? Oh, I did, Raj. I missed that. I should have gone with that. No question. Right from the beginning. But I think I was thinking the time, I was thinking I got to keep it close to this model. We eventually get there, but it takes some time.
So what would you have done? Would you have brought that in straight after the time model?
Oof, not my best, yes. I think listening to this, a part of me wanted to wait for the measurement until we explored that side of ick first, because I think that could have changed what we looked at in this session. We're getting there. We're just not getting there as quickly and efficiently as I think you can. Yeah, I'm not happy with this one. I'm not. It's not. Yeah. No.
What in particular are you not happy with then?
That I missed that one, that opportunity. That's just like a golden, beautiful. It's about her being. It's about perspective work. It's about everything. It has like the strong adjectives, nouns, all of it. I missed it. It's okay though. It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible at all, John. There's really great stuff, but there's learning here, isn't there, for us? We've all been in this place, and coaches as they're listening. So, as coaches are listening, maybe they're pausing, they're making their own notes. What would you think could have been happening? Were you being distracted? What was going on for you?
I think I was thinking I need to stick close to models. I was trying to stick it closer to models. And then that's what I was doing. It wasn't much more complex than that.
Okay.
All right, let's keep it going. We'll keep it going. I'm kind of curious now. See if I redeem this one. A lot of other people that would resonate with that.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Like, I've told this story a bunch of times, and sometimes I still get emotional about it, which is fine. Like, it's okay, because at the end of the day, my goal for myself is to be happy, and like I'm working on it, and I'm getting there.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, another part of it is just that, like, I never pictured myself here. Like, to be totally transparent and to be totally honest, I didn't even know what life coaching was. And when someone said it to me, I was like, it's not a real thing, like, But then I looked into it and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is a real thing. So, I've when I say I've come a long way, I've come a long way.
So where are you now then? And are you still lost? Like that one.
I wouldn't say
It's a yes, no question, but I like it. What do you think, Roger?
Well, it wasn't fully yes, no, because you
it
said,
was like
where
a
are you
two-parter.
now? Right?
Yeah.
Are you still lost? So she didn't use that language, yet there is that feeling there, isn't there? So what guided you to that place as a coach?
I think she used the word. Let me see. I was looking at the transcript too, or I was trying to scope ahead a little bit. Let me see if I can find. I thought she used the word lost just a minute ago.
Okay, maybe I missed that.
Yeah, she used it just a minute ago, but it wasn't. It felt a little like she could have just glossed over it too. Like it wasn't the main import of it, but then I felt it. Like me as a coach, I'm like, ooh, like that's an interesting thing to look at. And I still think that I missed I mean, this is an opportunity for me to get back to that, what, like, which part of you is there, but this one feels like a different um aspect of self than like the ick someone might feel from a sales process.
Mm.
This feels like I just don't know what I'm going to do with my life kind of thing. I mean, this is fascinating to me. If you're looking at the being selves that are being, or that are almost competing for the coaching session right now.
She shared her own story as well, didn't she? So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's neither here nor there as a coach. I mean, that's fine. I could feel her processing it. Um, I don't know.
I can't believe it's actually 3. So should we keep
I know.
listening a bit longer, or what are you
Let's
processing,
do a
John?
couple
Looks like
more.
you're
Let's do a couple
processing a
more.
lot.
I am processing a lot. I feel like, so all of these sessions so far, I'm like, yeah, this has been good. This is the one where I feel like, even with Antoine's, I was like, there's some opportunities I missed, but not exquisitely. This one is like, yeah, that's an exquisiteness. Like that's a very clear, there was a very clear opportunity there that just whizzed by, and I never completely grabbed it. And we're now how many minutes in? This one, 7 minutes in, and it's okay. But I think I could have gotten amazing at the 3 minute mark without the need to hear all the backstory, without her feeling like, okay, like let me give some context here to add some juice to this. Um, yeah. It's funny. I'm actually surprised that I'm this like, I know I can let it go. Sure. There, it's gone. But I'm also surprised like how much I really want these to be good for people to see and go, okay, cool. Like this is how good it can be. Um, I mean, people are also asking for examples of what's not so good. So here's one that's not so good. It's not, yeah, yeah.
I want to acknowledge you, John, for how open and honest and vulnerable and courageous you're being with all of this.
Thanks, man. I
It's
appreciate it.
inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting game. It's interesting feels to know, this is a profession I care a lot about, and this is a profession I've studied a lot. And I think what I'm gaining from this too is realizing, and this is the constant tension in the training too, is whenever people are being trained as a coach, there's a little bit of an awkwardness of, okay, this is an exercise that's really useful, or this is a scaffold for curiosity that can be really useful, like a roadmap. In order to learn the roadmap, you want to stick to the general steps of the idea. In real life coaching sessions, those go out the window relatively quickly, or should go out the window relatively quickly, and then be brought back if needed. This one is a showcases. Yeah, I should have tossed those. I should have tossed the time model and then brought it back, maybe at the 7 minute mark. You know what I mean? Like toss it for now, explore, and then bring it back in. Um, that's what I think what this is really highlighting for me.
So what are you letting go, John?
I don't know, because I know I have other demos, that I have recorded before this. So this might be a trap that we see repeated. We'll see. But I think that, yeah, I mean, it's good for me to learn this and see this and go, okay, yeah, there's a very clear I can get better at this.
Yeah. And I want to capture that point you just made, because it happens all the time. I see it in assessments, overviews that I'm doing, and I've done it myself, where I've said to coaches, abandon the tool in that moment. It's okay to abandon the tool and go with the curiosity and go with what you're hearing, and stay in that intuitive space. So this is actually a really good learning and message right here in this demo, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 This feels like a good stopping point too. Like for like in the sense of uh just it's good. I mean, I feel like it's not terrible, but it's also not the best. And what are we thinking about this one?
I feel like you're being a bit hard on yourself, John.
I know it.
What do you think?
Maybe. But it's also, I also know better too. You know what I mean? Like I know that I know better. Like, and that's the fun part for me. Um, I'm also know enough to know that I am good. So it's okay. Like I don't, it's like this is good for me. It's good for me to be a little hard and go, oh my goodness, there's a next level for me. I like it.
And I think it'll be incredibly inspiring for coaches and everyone that's listening. And I said as for me as well, that we are all continuously learning and growing, and we all do these things, don't we? Even as MCC coaches. So I think it kind of gives people permission to know that it's okay, and you learn from it, and then next time you practice differently.
Right. Right. And I mean, and this session ends up well. I mean, it's good. We get to a good spot at the end of it. Some emotion comes up. I mean, I'm remembering now. It's not bad. Raj, thank you. Thanks for holding the safe space for it and letting me self-process in this, oh my goodness, what I do type moments. And oh my goodness, this is being broadcast and recorded and for all eternity. Like people will go back, look, you didn't do it so good. How you doing, bud? What you do?
I think it's a great demo. We need these, don't we? We've seen how excellent you are, John, and this, as you said, it's not bad, right? This is definitely fine for ACC, PCC. Yeah, there is an opportunity to go deeper for MCC. So I'm grateful for you. I am learning a lot from you and listening, and I know the listeners and coaches are going to be grateful too.
It's a fun one. This is a fun one. Raj, thank you. It's lovely as always to spend time with you. And yeah, this is fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope everyone listening is having a lot of fun listening to these and learning things from it too. And yeah, I think let's see part 2 next week,
Yeah.
of the same one. We might even see if we can get Cindy on the call in real time as well. That was also fun too. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you much for
Thanks, John. And everyone send us your questions and we'll reconvene next week. Thanks a lot, John. Bye.